listeners. It's great to be back here. Sunny, beautiful day in Miami, as always. And it's Thursday, which means that this is the Frost Jazz Hour. It comes to you every week at 11 a.m. on Thursdays. Here on WDNA, live in the Jazz Gallery, we are joined by Dafnis Prieto and his artist ensemble. I'm going to take a moment to introduce the band. We have Holly Forster, alto sax and flute, Gabriel Taylor on trumpet, Kevin Shinsky on tenor and soprano sax, Kevin Bryson trombone, Edgar De La Torre on guitar, Josh Beck on piano, Tianyu Zhang on bass, and John Pozo on drums. With that said, we're going to be starting off the show with a tune entitled Back and Forth. Back and Forth by Dafnis Prieto and the Dafnis Prieto Ensemble. Ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't awake, surely you are now with the big sound that's happening here live in the Jazz Gallery. We're going to keep the show going with another tune. This one is called Unknown Changes by one of the band members, Kevin Shinsky. Unknown Changes by Kevin Shinsky. And now's the moment where I'd like to invite one of the band members, the guitarist Edgar de la Torre, so that we can, that's fine, so we can ask you a few questions.
Totally, yes.
So first of all, welcome. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm pretty fine, thank you.
That's great.
Excited to be here and sharing music.
So I really remember being in your positions. You know, I went to Frost and I remember being on the other side and listening to what the host had to ask me. So when you're playing in these ensembles, and certainly when you're playing in your professor's ensemble, who is the artist himself, there's no hiding from the music. Right. So what has this experience been like for you?
It is a unique experience and challenging at the same time. And it is great to have the composer directing the ensemble at the same time, right? And yeah, all the ensembles are challenging, I bet, but
yeah, this is not easy music.
In the music, yeah.
And so your role as the guitarist, or I'm seeing now that everyone kind of brings tunes in. So have you brought a tune in by any chance, any of your compositions to the ensemble?
This tune is by Kevin.
By Kevin, right.
At some point, I'm going to bring one composition too.
That's great. And so what is your experience like here in Miami? Are you gigging anywhere, or does the group have plans to get a gig in Miami? Because you definitely should.
Thank you. I hope soon. I just got here like 2 months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
But yeah, I'm excited, and the level of the musicianship is super high. So I'm excited to be involved in this scene.
It's certainly a gift to be amongst so many wonderful musicians. Right. Remember me when I say this. This doesn't happen often. Once you graduate, to be amongst this level of musicians, you got to pay money, right? You have to pay money to make people play your music to this level, to learn everything. So once again, thank you for being here and for sharing the music with the WDNA listeners. Let's keep it going with this next tune, Unsir Tradition by Dafnis Prieto. Uncensored edition by the Dafnis Prieto Ensemble on today's Frost Jazz Hour. We'll be back after a few short messages. Back here on 88.9 FM. My name is Nicole Garcia, your host every Thursday, 11 a.m. with a Frost Jazz Hour. And we have the privilege of listening to the Dafnis Prieto Ensemble. This next tune is entitled Last Night Today by Gabriel Taylor. An original tune by one of the Dafnis Prieto Ensemble members. That was Last Night Today by Gabriel Taylor. We have one more song for you, but first, I just want to introduce Dafnis Prieto with us. He's here today with his artist ensemble. It's good to have you back.
Good to be back. Yes, good to see you again.
So for all the listeners, we had an interview with Dafnis Prieto himself just a few weeks ago. So again, you can always go on wdna.org and stream any past shows. So again, if you even like today's show very much, you can definitely click the live stream and make sure to catch it again. So when you're the teacher of so many gifted students, what is it that you work on in the ensembles when they're already at such a high level?
Well, let's say that especially when I bring my own compositions, I have them listen, and there's a lot of into it besides the technical aspect of it, but the storytelling behind the song, the interpretation of it. I give them room also for interpretation. I'm not that picky unless there is something that contradicts with what I really want. But I kind of give them some space in terms of soloing and interpretation as well, unless, as I say, it's very, specific about it. And I bring different songs. I encourage them to bring their own originals that it will, in a way, it will sound within the same umbrella of my own compositions in a way, meaning, in the same kind of a style in a way, and not getting that much away, like playing rhythm and blues or something like that.
Right.
But we're trying to play original compositions, and this is amazing lineup, very talented and very disciplined guys. They're always there, and they're always willing to work together. And above all is the idea of bringing the ensemble sound together, the whole thing as an ensemble, and that's to me the best quality of an ensemble. To have the individuals with a high quality, but yet being really aware that this is all about the whole ensemble.
Right. So, wow, that's so much to think about because, as a musician, when you're put into these situations, and I keep saying this again, once you guys graduate, it's off into the real world. And these are the skills that are so important. It's like you go into the room and it's not really how well can you play, because of course you can play, you're already made it into the ensemble, but how well do you play with each other?
Together, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some of these tunes, or what albums are these from? Because some of these are new for me. I haven't heard
Yeah.
all of these.
Back and Forth is a song that I is in the album Triangles and Circles, and I believe that album is a sextet album, and it came out. It was released on 2015, I believe. And then Concern Tradition is actually a song that was on my latest sextet album, which it came out, I think, in 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, 2021 or 22, something like that,
Right.
with the sextet also. Because it's a large ensemble, so I try to bring the sextet, especially more than my other, configurations. And there is, 2 originals, one by Kevin and the other one by Gabriel. And then this last song that we're going to play is called Amanecer Contigo, which is actually, this is the original version of Amanecer Contigo is the one on the album Cantar.
Right.
That's the original version with lyrics, and it's kind of more of a bolero. But this version was recorded first. It just happens to be.
Really?
Yeah, it was recorded first with the sextet. And this is a much more, it's still a love story, but a rhythmic one. It's not necessarily
Classic Dafnis.
so it's not necessarily the romantic one version that we had in my very latest album, the Cantar album, but this is a rhythmic and fun one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to listen to it. And I want to ask the folks just one question. I know you guys don't have a microphone, but I'm putting you on the hot seat. What is it? I know Dafnis can be a tough teacher, but what are some of the maybe gifts of those qualities? I don't know who wants to.
You have a mic there? Oh, Kevin, it is.
Looking for a mic, folks.
It is.
I will say that I appreciate Professor Prieto's ability to be just really present with us every rehearsal and just bringing all of his experience and musicality to every moment he spends with us making music.
Well, certainly, we're glad to have you all here today in the studio here on WDNA 88.9 FM. With that said, let's kick it off with the last tune, Amanecer Contigo. It's one of those tunes that leaves the audience like, oh my goodness, so lovely. Yeah, I'm over here dancing to the song. That one is called Amanecer Contigo, Dafnis Prieto Ensemble. I'm going to take one more moment to properly introduce everyone in the band. Holly Forster, alto sax and flute. Gabriel Taylor on trumpet. Kevin Shinsky, tenor and soprano saxophone. Kevin Bryson, trombone. Edgar De La Torre, guitar. Josh Beck, piano. Tian Yu Zhang on bass. Juan Pozo on drums. And for everyone listening through the airwaves, you can always come to the WDNA studio here at WDNA in Coral Way. So we have some audience members today. Thank you for joining us. I think it definitely makes a difference for people who are playing in the groups to have you here today. So a round of applause for you as well. Thank you for being here. Now that this concert is over, what is the ensemble going to be working on? Do you revisit this music? Do you do new music?
Yeah, the next performance we're doing is on November 6th, I believe. 7th? Oh, okay. November 7th. November 7th, we actually opening up for a concert at school at Guzman. We opening up for the Frost Jazz Orchestra. Conducted by Mr. Professor John Daversa. So we're gonna do probably 3 or 4 songs opening up for that in that concert in that evening. So come by. Yes. We also love Alberto. Alberto is here with us.
Thank you, Alberto. He's the one that produces the show.
I know, yeah. So we always thankful to him, and always great to see him again. Always.
Yeah, so definitely, Alberto puts a lot of work here at the WDNA Jazz Gallery because it may look like I'm here doing all the work, but really I just do my research during the week. But Alberto is the one who really does and takes the time to see who's playing at Frost, which groups to bring, which artists to bring. And I'm so glad that he brought the artist ensemble, the Dafnis Prieto Artist Ensemble this week. Next week, we'll have part 2 of Richard Todd, who has an incredible career. There's so much to learn from him. He's worked with artists like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. He's played in multiple settings with orchestras and jazz settings as well. So that's for next week. We have November 7th, not November 6th, the Frost Jazz Orchestra. And what are some other concerts that maybe you would encourage the listeners to go to at Frost? Is there anything
Just
going
go
on?
to the website in the Frost School of Music website is a Frostbites, right? In the website, and there is a lot of concerts going on constantly, even in the school and outside of the school as well. There is a lot of outreach performances happening as well. So I will recommend you to just go to the website and just look at the calendar there, the scheduling of the performances. I don't know them. There is so much that I don't know them by memory. I don't even know the ones that are coming up next month for myself. But yeah, that's the best way to find out about it.
All right. Well, you heard it here first on WDNA 88.9 FM. Thank you so much for listening. Moment. Signing off from the Frost Jazz Hour that comes to you every Thursday at 11 a.m.